Welcome to Trail Shoes Reviewed. Now, the HOKA Stinson 7 and the HOKA Speedgoat 6 look very similar in terms of being max stack trail shoes. However, beyond that, they're completely different. So if you look at the outsole on the Stinson 7, it's got 3mm lugs that are generally broad and well spread apart. In contrast to that, on the Speedgoat 6, we've got the Vibram MegaGrip outsole, which is a lot stickier, especially on wet terrain and on wet rocks. And it's got 5mm lugs that are sharper, more diagonal and multi-directional. So you can see there's a stark contrast between the two in terms of grip. So the Speedgoat 6 is better on deeper mud, wet terrain, whereas the Stinson 7 is better on road to light grass to light technical terrain. So completely different on the outsole, but how do they compare in the midsole? Well, we've got 45mm of cushioning in the rear foot on the midsole on the Stinson 7, and we've got 40mm of cushioning in the forefoot. So that is a huge amount of cushioning underneath your foot, and it's got HOKA's classic CM EVA cushioning. We've got 5mm less overall in the Speedgoat 6, so we've got 40mm in the rear foot and 35 in the forefoot, meaning that both of them have a 5mm drop, so that's the difference from the back to the front of the shoe, which provides a relatively even distribution of pressure across your foot. However, we've got 5mm less overall in the heel and in the forefoot in the Speedgoat 6. And as a result, the cushioning is slightly different, so you've got a relatively firm cushioning in the Speedgoat 6, which is great because it gives you a good contact feel when you're going downhill or changing direction, whereas you've got a broader, thicker midsole on the Stinson 7, and as a result it's more comfort focused, it's more focused on luxury and extra padding under your foot for spending long periods of time in this shoe. And the consequence of having all that weight is that it comes in around 360 grams for a size 9 men's US, so that's a really heavy shoe, whereas the Speedgoat 6 comes in around 277 grams for the same size, so that's nearly 100 grams difference. So it's massive when you're thinking about spending long periods of time on your feet, or if you want to move quicker up and down those hills. And that's not where the differences end. So we've got a H-frame built into the Stinson 7, so similar to what we see in the running version of the Gaviota 5, and that's denser midsole that runs on the outside on both sides of the shoe and a bar across the middle to provide rotational stability and stability throughout the shoe to keep you centered in it while you move. So if you're someone who struggles with pronation moments, controlling over pronation, well then this is a shoe built to keep you nice and steady and centered in it throughout the gait cycle. In contrast to that, in the Speedgoat 6, we have some sidewalls on the outside and the inside of the shoe towards the heel, and they help to come up, cradle your ankle and provide stability, and it has a moderately stiff heel counter, again cradling your ankle, helping to control those pronation moments when you initiate contact with the ground. So as a result, we classify this as a stable neutral shoe, whereas this is a true stability shoe in the Stinson 7. As we move on top of the shoes, they're completely different as well. So we have a much broader toe box in the Stinson 7 than we have in the Speedgoat 6. The Speedgoat 6 really narrows and tapers towards the toe box. So if you're someone who has a broader foot, you may struggle with the width in this shoe. However, the race fit on the shoe makes it leaner, and it means that it can fit through different cracks and crevices more easily than what you'll get in the Stinson 7, which is more for plodding along rather than moving quickly up and down those trails. We've got some protection overlay on both shoes, moving from the inside across the front and towards the outside of the shoes, but we've no protectors for our toes on the front, so if we kick a branch or a root, we're going to be in trouble there in terms of it hurting our big toe. We've got a really thin tongue on the Speedgoat 6 and we've got a really thick tongue on the Stinson 7. We've got plenty of padding on both shoes around the heel counter. So overall, from top to bottom, they're completely different shoes. The Stinson 7 is a max stability shoe with lots of cushioning underneath your foot. However, you pay the price in terms of having a very heavy shoe. The Speedgoat 6 has a firmer cushioning, a lot lighter overall, a bit of a race knit fit. So it's built for long distances on the trail as well as the Stinson 7, but for doing faster workouts. And it's a bit of a bomb-proof shoe overall. So it's an excellent option as a race shoe for longer distances, whereas the Stinson 7 is all about comfort, whether you want to use it from road to trail or you want to use it for long distance ultras if you're looking for a really soft, really stable shoe. So we've got links to both shoes in the description below if you want to check out the latest prices on Amazon. Otherwise, if you have any questions for me, please drop them in the comment section. Like and share and subscribing is always appreciated.